And I saw somebody on Twitter the other day, I think they directed a tweet at me because I think I was saying that on one of our past shows. And they said, if you think that Khabib will have trouble taking down somebody like Justin Gaethje because he was a state champion, you're out of your mind, because you forget what he did to Abel Trujillo. Abel Trujillo was a 4-time state champion or something like that, and he threw him around like a rag doll, which I don't agree with one little bit. But when you hear something like that, what is your response?
I was a Division I All-American, so that's, that guy right there has no idea what he's talking about. So I wouldn't even entertain the conversation because his facts are just way out. I was a Division I All-American. Again, I wrestled some of the toughest guys at their prime. College wrestling, Division I college wrestling in America is the highest level, other than going to the Olympics and wrestling on the international level. But we're not wrestling anymore. There's going to be a zone in front of me. It's not very big. And it's going to be a zone of death. And if, I have to represent death every time he enters this zone. And that's what I'm the best at, creating carnage, creating car crashes. So my only goal when I step in there is to create as many car crashes as possible. Whether it be our bodies hitting, our heads hitting, our fucking shoulders hitting, our fists, my fist hitting his head, his fist hitting my head. It doesn't matter. I need to create car crashes because I need to, that's the only way to beat this guy.
Sorry, Lewis, I knew you had something there, but I just wanted to ask. So just on that, Justin, then. So obviously, you are an All-American. You've got the wrestling there. So what does the training camp look like? Do you know are you confident in your wrestling so you'll address it a little bit? Or do you let that dominate the wrestling, the training camp to a certain degree? Because right? That's his game plan. It's always his fucking game plan. As you said, he's going to try and push you up against the fence, take you down, and then go to work. So the whole wrestling defense aspect, do you let that dominate the game plan, or are you comfortable with where you're at regardless? Sorry, Lewis. I knew you were going to ask something. My bad.
I'm obviously focusing on, Ryan Deacon. I don't know if you know who Ryan Deacon is. He's number 1 in the nation at 157. He was undefeated all year, didn't get taken down, wrestled for Northwestern. He's 23 years old, and he literally makes me feel like a little bitch every Wednesday. Like, I can't tell you, how demeaning it is to take the ass whooping that I take from these kids. One's 22 and one's like 20. One's 23 and one's like 21. And but they're top 5 in the nation and in NCAA Division I wrestling. So I have them, beat my ass every Wednesday. And outside of that, I'm working on what I work. My camp is not changing. Nothing will change. I've never not focused on wrestling. I'm working on what I need to work on.
Sorry, is there anything that Khabib has with the striking that concerns you at all?
Yeah, dude, it's a fight. This is I don't know, like when we watch the sport for, and we understand that there's levels. Me and Michael really understand that there's levels, and this is a fight on the highest level. Like, there is no fight with more skill sets, other than submissions. You can bring submissions to the table, but who the fuck needs that? So outside that, this represents, the pinnacle of the sport. He's 28, I am, I have 2 losses. Those were, both of those were fights of the year. I have never not come out of the cage with my opponent being absolutely broken from physical damage, and he's never walked out with a lot of physical damage. So we're going to see who can impose their will, and only one of us will. I do think it's going to be a battle for the ages. I don't think it's going to be, he might, if it happens, he's going to, rape me after another 4 or 5. I guess if it's going to happen, that's going to happen. But, I will have created too much damage for him to be comfortable.
When I look at Khabib, when I look at the fight he had with Al Iaquinta, that if I'm in Khabib's camp, that makes me a little bit worried when I'm going up against someone like yourself. Have you looked at that fight and you see, it gives you confidence?
I watched it that night, but I haven't watched it again.
Yeah.
I probably won't. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. This is 25 minutes in time, 25 minutes in life. I've lived millions of minutes. 25 minutes, man. I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to fight my ass off. I'm going to be willing to die, more willing to die than I've ever been willing. And that's just what I'm going to bring to the cage. And, I'm going to represent my family, represent America. It's so awesome to be able to represent, my country. I grew up in a small town.